Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Zombie here. Today we're back with another freaking tier list. This one's about Dream Drop, Distance, Keyblades, worlds, characters. You get it all here. Let's just jump freaking into it. All right, as per usual, we have gone through these and we've done individual ones on the side that we do by ourselves, and then this one's more of a discussion type thing. And we kind of do it together, maybe convince the other one, argue, discuss, compromise, whatever we have to do, we do it. You'll see it all here. So let's start with some characters. All right, Raine, how are you doing today?
I'm all right.
I feel like I should be better at saying hi to you and so you could say something instead of just like she shows up, nobody knows she's there.
I do just sort of appear, don't I?
Yeah, I used to be better with it, but anyways. So the first one here we got is Alias. Alias. Where should we put our boy Alias?
No offense to Alias, but I don't really care about him.
Yeah, he actually had some lines in this game, and there was several characters in here that I could have included that we just saw laying on the ground, but they didn't say anything. And I'm like, I could include them because technically they're in the game, but I'm like, let's be real, they're B tier or like maybe a C if we don't really like them too much, but there's not enough to really go off of in this game, so I just excluded them this time. I would say he's kind of broody, and I don't really like his attitude, so it makes him a little bit more of a C to me. Otherwise, I could care less about him.
Yeah, because I'm so like, I don't really care. I put him in like B, which is the neutral zone. So I was like, I don't really care that you exist.
Yeah, he's just never been my favorite, even in past games. I'm thinking about it, so I'm like more like a C, I would say, on it. But if you want to go B, we can do that too.
I'm also the same as I don't mind if you want to put him in C, so...
All right, let's do C then. Screw it. All right, Anthem Seeker of Darkness. What are your thoughts on him?
The classic Kingdom Hearts 1 villain, and the boy that's been messing with Riku for so long.
Yeah, honestly, he's a bully to Riku.
He is a bully, but he's a brilliant bully.
I'd like to think that Riku finally overcame him, so let's just go with that. I like him. I like him as a baddie. I think he's an A to me.
Really? I think he's more of an S because of the classicness to him, but I'm good with an A.
Oh, I thought you said menace. I'm like, whoa, but you said an S.
Yeah. He is a menace, don't get me wrong, but like...
He's more of a menace. No, I would not put him in S tier at all, so...
Fair enough.
I think A tier is being nice for him. So we'll go to A. I like him. There's definitely many characters I think are more deserving of A than him. I think he still deserves A, but just on a lower end of it for me. Then we have Ansem the Wise. Wise boy.
He had some nice moments.
Yeah, and I appreciate his redemption arc. You know, he put this information in Sora, which is, again, messing with children. Why do you keep messing with children? That aside, like, I see he's trying to make amends, and I think that's kind of cool. You know, he's got an arc, he made mistakes in the past, and you kind of see moving forward through the series in general that he's been trying to make an amends, and I appreciate that. I'd be okay with an A tier or a B, either one.
Yeah, it's fine.
Where would you put him?
I liked his lines. He's leaning more to like the highness of an S-ish, but I'm good with like putting him in an A, because...
Okay, we'll do that. Axel, we know where he goes.
Yes.
B.
We do.
S. Obviously an S. We love our boy Axel. I love that he's now come more to the light side. I mean, he had a lot of character development in this game as well, being more switching sides of sorts, gaining the ability to wield a Keyblade by the end of it. And it was super cool. He saved Sora and Riku, Mickey and Minnie at freaking her castle. And yeah, freaking awesome. Not too much needs to be said about him, I don't think. We freaking love him.
He's epic. Just watch the rest of the series, you'll figure it out. We love him.
Yeah, check out our old videos. Check out our other videos. All right, so then we have Beats from The World Ends With You. You liked Beat.
He was awesome.
You liked Beat. Where would you put Beat?
Yeah. Oh, he was hilarious, especially his bickering with his sister. He's a good, lovable A.
I would say, yeah, I would put him at A tier for sure. I thought he was fun. He was a cool dynamic, especially with the other characters. Definitely liked him. Donald freaking Duck. Where are we putting Daddy?
See, they weren't really in the game.
No, they had some lines, but they didn't really do anything. They're like, oh, Mickey, let us come with you. Mickey's like, nah, fam, I know how useless you guys are. You guys stay here. Okay.
So I love them because of all the stuff like they've done in the other game and their friendships and stuff, but because they weren't really in this game, I'd say B.
Okay, so since we're kind of doing both of them together, which I agree with, I agree with Goofy and B, but Donald still sucks eggnog, so I think he's a D tier.
He doesn't suck eggnog, he's hilarious.
Oh god, yeah, he sucks worse than eggnog. Well, we'll put Goofy and B there real quick, but I will settle for a C.
Okay.
A C
Fair
for
enough.
Donald. Screw that duck. All right, then we have Yenzo. We'll call him he's actually Yenzo though in this game because he's now a somebody again. So he is Yenzo. Where are we gonna put
Yes.
Yenzo?
I'm so indifferent on him. He's sort of just the moody nobody guy.
He's not moody. That's not his person. He's not moody.
He feels moody.
He's very smart. No, he's not at all. He's very chill. He's definitely not moody. He's very chill. He just looks edgy, but he's definitely not. He's quite funny, and I think his interaction with Axel there, and he was getting ready to explain the whole like how somebody's come to existence, and Axel's like, no, please, just spare me. I don't know. I thought he was kind of fun. He's an A tier for me. He's not like an S or anything, but I definitely like him.
I'm quite happy if you want to put him there, so I don't mind. I didn't really remember that cutscene, so you can put him in A if you want.
Okay, yeah, I like him. He's fun. Joshua, Raine, let's
Oh,
talk about Joshua.
I don't like Joshua. He's not bad enough to be a D, but he's a solid C.
Okay, I'm gonna say we could probably settle for a B because I definitely liked Joshua, especially with Riku. With Sora, he was a little bit more annoying, but I still appreciate his character and like the information that he provided us in the game. So I think he's a B. If he was an A, he wouldn't be a high A or anything. So we'll meet in the middle at B.
Fair enough.
Kairi, which we saw at the very end there. We got that last little cutscene there.
Yeah,
Of her.
when this popped up, I was like, where is she in the game?
Yeah, so I included her in there because I'm like, and then I included her in here and I'm like, I gotta make sure I gotta show her in the cutscene of her. But yeah, so now she's a Keyblade wielder. Well, she was a Keyblade wielder. Now she's like acknowledged as a Keyblade wielder, I suppose.
I just realized, isn't she also a Princess of Heart?
She is. Which adds a really interesting twist on her, does this give her potential? I don't know, I guess we'll
Maybe.
see how Nomura runs with it. If he does good with it. But yeah, so that is Kairi. What do you think of her?
She's quite cool. I enjoy her. She's developed a bit as a character in the past.
Yeah, I really liked her in
But-
KH2 personally.
No, yeah, agreed. KH1, she's a bit useless.
She had a good personality in KH1 though. I want to give her props for her
Yeah.
playfulness with Sora and Riku. I thought their dynamic was really cool though.
Yeah, she is quite amusing. So she's like an S, to be honest, because she's so much potential.
Yeah, she's like full of potential energy. Now we just got to see that kinetic energy form, and let's see that.
Yeah.
Let's see that. Maleficent,
I have no idea where she was in this game.
Disney Castle. She got to Minnie, and then Mickey had to go and save her, and then Axel showed up.
Oh yeah,
Got that whole little bit.
Yeah, I forgot. I remember Axel saved them, but I don't remember from who.
You're like, oh, there's a character I actually care about who's not a Disney character. I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect it.
She's so unimportant to me in this. She's such a seed.
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know where you want to put her, but
I'm okay with it. I would say she's a bit of a B, but I don't. There's certain games where I like Maleficent more. This is not one of them. I mean, she wasn't really an intrinsic part about it. She showed up and talked nonsense and then left. I mean, that's really what it came down to.
yeah, she was a bit of a menace. Like, I want to get my nose in here, and then she got her nose nearly cut off with a flame thing.
Yeah, the flame chakram.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like she's she showed up and spewed some stuff about Recoded to make you wonder if it was bad if you missed it, and then we just find out that it really doesn't matter, so it's really irrelevant.
Yeah.
So Teacher's fine. Master Xehanort. Raine, you're the one who went off about Master Xehanort. Let's hear your collective opinion.
Collective opinion. Okay, I feel bad for going off on him. I was. There was a lot of emotion. And I
You're
regret.
notorious for going off on a character at the end of games, I've noticed in recent history.
That's 'cause
Aqua. And then you're like, oh, she's an S tier. She's awesome. I love Aqua.
That's because there's a lot of emotion at the end of the games, and a lot gets revealed, particularly at the end. And I'm like, oh, come on, there's no way. And I get a little energetic, let's say.
Yeah.
And it causes problems. But he is really good as a villain, and he's kind of really smart with everything that he's done. And I do enjoy the Keyblade.
Keyblade.
He is kind of an S tier villain.
I think so. I go through phases where I think about him more as an A and an S, where I'm kind of between. But especially when I think about his old master plan, his old scheming, and just how brilliant it really is, just makes him a really good villain. And yeah, I'm cool with S on that for sure. Yeah. I think it depends on the day what I think of him versus S or A, but today is an S. Today is an S.
See, that's what I mean. The opinions on characters can change sometimes, like, a little, depending on the day.
Yeah, and it really depends on what mindset I put myself in when thinking about him. Because like I said, when I think of his scheming, I think he's an S. But if I think about, like, other aspects, I might be more like, A. But they normally stay in the same area. It's not like it's a drastic D to A or an S or whatever.
That's where we differ.
Yeah, that is where we differ. That's 100% where we differ. Mickey Mouse, I don't think he's as bad as Donald Duck to me, but I still don't like him. Though I will say he did more in this game.
He did.
Did he do anything useful? Yes, I'd say at the end with the throne room part, when he came and stops it.
Yeah.
So I would say he did do stuff in this game. Doesn't mean I like him. He's still a rotten rat that I want to see burn in hell. You know what? No, he is a D tier. Fuck the mouse.
And it changes so quickly.
He was a C though. He was more of a C to me. Now he's a D. See, it fluctuates between those. All right, where'd you put him?
I'd sort of, because of what he did in this game, he was a bit more useful. He's sort of teetering between a B and an A.
Oh god.
You're like a D tier, so I'm gonna go for where's the middle
B or
ground?
C then. I'll let you pick where you want to put him, B or C.
He's not as bad as Maleficent. He'd be more of a B, I think.
Fine. But he's a D, everybody. And then we have Neko. Neku. That's his name.
Neku.
The world ends with you.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like, all the characters from the world ends with you were really cool.
I agree with that.
He is definitely sort of with his pal Beat and more of an A for me.
Yeah, I think we can't put like Beat up there if we don't put like Neku up there. I will say in terms of Neku, he was less unique than Beat in the sense that he reminded me a lot of like Riku. And especially a lot like Cloud from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Since that's a different game, I don't want to knock points on him for that. But definitely correlations with Riku on him. But I like him. I definitely liked him, so I'm cool putting him in an A. Raine! She was funny. I liked her.
She was very funny, especially when she was picking on her brother.
Yeah, I think that's just an A. I think we're cool putting her
definitely. There. Oh, 100%.
Riku! I don't think too much needs to be said about him. He's awesome. I think he even had now he's a Keyblade master. Like he just got even more. Like when you think he can't get cooler, he gets cooler, and that's what happened in this game. Keyblade master was able to freaking go dive into Sora's heart and stuff, on top of the power of waking, whatever the hell that is, and was able to do that, and that's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's another question you should have asked me. What the hell is the power of waking?
I heard power of awakening and I was like, oh, so you can awaken sleeping people.
No, not the power of awakening, power of waking.
Oh, power of waking. Well, you can just wake someone up. It's like throwing a glass of water on their face. That's what I think it is.
Too accepting over here, Raine. Too accepting.
I heard the term and it makes sense.
You think it makes sense. That's what the problem is. You're thinking it makes sense.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Roxas over here.
Oh, I love seeing Roxas. He was so cool.
And the reason... Sorry.
No, you go.
I was just going to say the reason I put him on this tier list because he wasn't like intrinsical in this game. He just made an appearance in the dream world in like trippy Sora state. But we also saw people like Namine, and I didn't include in this tier list, and that's because, well, Roxas 1 had actual lines, but I actually thought there was development that was made by the character appearing, so that is why I put him in the tier list anyways, despite they didn't have lines. So Roxas here, you know, he had that interaction with Sora, and it really shows something about Roxas and just like coming to terms of, you know, this is right that you were the one who prevailed, and I'm not the one who continued on. It was you who continued on because you have so many people connected to you. It had to be you. And it's like almost like acceptance for Roxas, where he kind of develops for him. And then obviously his interaction with Sora, where you fed him all his memories and just Sora like absolutely in pain essentially from all of the experience that he had and just pure sorrow. Like, I thought it was really intense, and I did not feel right not putting him on the tier list.
Yeah, that's fair enough. He is always awesome from the get-go, from when we first met him, or saw him, whatever. And he's always been an S for me.
Yeah, and I want to point this out because I just was reminded of it, that we experienced all the people that were kind of connected to Sora's heart through this game. I don't know if you noticed that. The people that we viewed, Roxas, Shion, Namine was in there. You know, it's kind of half of him.
Yeah.
Ventus, and when Riku dives back into Sora's heart at the end using the power of waking, the 3 questions he's asked by is Roxas, Ventus, and Shion was in there too, right? Who was linked to him. So it's like you get these characters that are all linked to him, and it's really interesting like that.
Yeah, that is awesome.
But yeah, so S tier, I think it's just pure S tier. I don't think we need to say too much more about that. We love Roxas. Roxas is amazing. Yeah. Check out our 358 stuff in Kingdom Hearts 2 if you want to see more on that. Sayax makes a return.
Is his name Isa? Yeah, I was trying to remember his real name.
Yeah, in this game, technically, he is Sayax, though, because he's his nobody form.
Yeah. Well, I think he is cool. I do like his existence, but I really don't know where to put him, because he's kind of tough for me to think about. Like, he's been naughted, clearly, and he's...
Actually, he doesn't have yellow eyes. He has orange eyes here.
Does he?
Just want to point that out. Yeah. I don't know. It could be a design mishap, but his eyes are definitely orange.
Okay. Well, he's meant to have been naughted, so he's like a bad guy, and he hasn't had too many lines in this game. Like, I don't think he said anything. He did. He
mentioned something to Axel when that image that we took here is of him clashing with Axel there on the throne after he saved Sora. So, but yeah, I think he's an A tier. I like him. I definitely like him.
Yeah,
I see some coolness about him. I think he's a good character.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll throw him there. Shiki, Raine.
She was cool.
I have a picture. She's with a cat there. You like cats?
She's with a cat. I like cats. I had a bit of a hard time like adjusting to her sort of demeanor when she was just like by herself, but as soon as she was interacting with the others, she was cooler.
Well, you misinterpreted her for being needy when talking with Riku, when she, like, in that image that I picked actually is when she winked at him. Like, you kind of neglected the wink when you brought that up, and the fact that she's being playful. She's not actually like, oh, can't you protect me? Like, she was just really being playful, and I think it just took a minute to understand that too for you as well.
Yeah, she's definitely cool, and like all the other characters, very like good and fun.
So A tier, you think?
Yeah.
A tier, I like it. Sora boy. Where does Sora go?
He's an S tier. S for Sora.
Is an S tier. I am still pretty upset that he didn't get a mastery.
Yes.
Because just for your information, Raine, you went in there being like, oh, you can only name one of them. That wasn't that he could only name one of them. It's just he thinks only one of them deserved it. So like it wasn't like only one Keyblade master.
Right, give me a knife. I'm gonna go sort Yensid out. What the hell?
Maybe that reflects on her Yensid ranking. We will see in a minute. But yeah, I guess I didn't portray that enough. Cutscenes were happening, so I didn't want to interrupt too much with that. But no, it wasn't the fact that like he could only pick one. It was that he doesn't think Sora deserved it.
But Sora had all this shit happening to him, and yet he still unlocked the worlds.
well, the end says, like, you fell to darkness. You fell, and so Riku had to go save you, so you failed. That's essentially what happened.
Like, oh, Jensen's gonna get it in the tail.
He's 4 characters away, so let's save it for that. Sora's S tier, Xemnas, or Xemnas.
He was always such a cool villain, along with like Ansem. He had the cooler voice actor, let's be fair.
Yeah, and I always thought he was a very good baddie. I mean, I think his like zero care and emotions amazing. Where would you put him?
He leans like to be closer like to Master Xehanort than he does Ansem Secret of Darkness, so he's more of an S. So
I would agree that he's closer. I don't know if I'd quite put him in S for me though. If I'm thinking of this game, I definitely would have put him in an S. I don't feel completely good putting him in an S, so I'm gonna put him in A, but he's an upper A, I'd say. Yeah,
he did just sort of appear in this game. He didn't do a lot.
Yeah. Well, he did some. He showed up a couple times. I don't know. I would say he did stuff, but it wasn't anything like too crucial, I guess.
Yeah.
Ziggy Zigbar.
Oh, I love Ziggy Zigbar. He was so cool throughout this entire thing. He had such a big part.
He's so quippy too. I love all his jokes that he makes and his tone and the things he says to characters. He was actually savage towards Sora. You idiot. He
was.
I love him.
He's great.
He's an S tier for me. Okay, good.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think he's probably my second favorite organization member, obviously after Axel.
Yeah.
And then, of course, followed by Larxene, Stephanie Queen.
Oh, God, I forgot she existed.
Oh, God. Just thinking about her. All right, Xion. Again, I added her because she kind of, Sora this was a moment where Sora sees Xion for the first time. He's never met Xion before. He didn't know anything about her, or that she was even tied to him. And he's like, who are you? And I just thought it was really important. Also that it was Naminé, right? And he grabbed her hand and turned her around. And when she turned around, it was like Xion, like kind of showing people linked to him. And that was really cool. So
it was really cool. I really enjoyed seeing Xion again because her story just makes me want to vote. So
yeah, the whole 358 over everything about it just is so sad with Axel, Lee.
It still kind of hurts.
Roxas and her. So where'd you put her though?
She's always going to be an S because she does so much. It is such like a character development for her to meet Sora, and it just, even if it's in like a dream sort of thing, I love it. She's awesome. Yeah, I love her. I was a little bit between an A and an S just because I think Roxas was a little bit more integral, I guess, into Sora's little thing there. But as a character, just in general across the series, I love Xion. She's definitely an S. Yeah. So here we go. Lay it into me, Raine. Yen said. Okay, see, before you told me what you did. Oh yeah, I'm curious. He would have been a B or an A because he's been so helpful to them. And I disagree. And that was my viewpoint, that he'd been so helpful and he'd been like helping them with information, just sort of being assistant. But now I see him as a beardy wizard who sits in his chair in his tower all day screaming at them to go places, and then he goes, no, you don't deserve the mastery rank. So he's definitely a C leaning towards a D. And he does nothing himself. D tier. He does nothing. He does nothing. I'm kind of curious. That guy. I'm kind of curious to where he is in my one now. I was definitely on the lower end for him. But I think he just sits in his tower, he tells everybody else to do his bidding, and that's pretty much it. You guys go save the world. I'll just orchestrate it and seem like I'm doing stuff on the sidelines. And then you guys can save the world 2 times, and I still don't think you're worthy of being a Keyblade Master, Sora. And he's a freaking jerk, and he's like, oh, where are they? God, I lost track of them. You guys do your marker test? No, I'm not going to have you hit light balls for a couple hours. No, I'm going to make you go and dive into 7 dream worlds and get manipulated by an evil old man. Be sent back in time by another gruesome old man named Yen Sid. God, he's such a jerk. Just give him some light balls. They earned it. He deserves it, man. Now you're just messing with Sora's self-confidence. God. Yeah, and also he just, oh God, what was I gonna say? It's completely gone. No. Sorry. If he doesn't do anything to help, if he doesn't leave that tower, in whatever the next game is, I swear, I'm never gonna watch whatever movie he was in. Was it Fantasia?
Fantasia, yeah. He's an absolute jerk in there, by the way. He's modeled after Disney, and Disney was not a nice guy. So you might even enjoy it because he's just a jerk.
Yeah, Walt Disney wasn't a nice fellow, was he? But this, oof, he made me mad at him.
Yeah, screw Jens said. They picked the perfect character to model after Disney, apparently. Screw Jens said. He sucks. Do something. All right, going on to you again, young Xehanort, baby Nort, whatever you want to call him. We have so many names for him.
First, could I say I love that you call him you again because I wasn't allowed to know his name, and every time you say you again, I'm like, why are you? And then it click after like a few seconds that that's what you're calling him as his name. It just doesn't make sense.
I actually think that's my favorite name we have for him. I think it's better than young Xehanort personally.
Definitely.
Just because it's like that was the name that we went through the series going there. It's kind of like a staple of like, this is what we originally knew him as. This is what we knew him as before we knew his name, and it's kind of like this is him.
Yeah. But good old you again. He was really important to this game. It's like it wouldn't have happened if he didn't appear and if he wasn't a douchebag and didn't propel all of this forward. So he's really good, even as like young Xehanort, being younger than all the other Xehanorts. He's a really good villain, and he's sort of leaning towards more of an S.
Wow. I fucking hate him.
Even though he's a dick. I can look past him being a dick sometimes.
No, let me just point this out there. I would say there's pretty a split audience on this one. I want to say more people like him and more on your side of things than my side of things. So you're completely valid and you're definitely not alone on this. I just want to point that out there. So definitely, don't be like, am I thinking of him wrong? No, you're in line with other people. And obviously you're always entitled to your own opinion and just run with it. But no, I wouldn't say he's a D for me necessarily, but there's a lot of problems I have with this guy. I don't really care about his personality per se. Like, I think he's a little edgy and I think that's fine for a dark boy, or a future dark boy, I suppose would be more accurate. And I think that's fine, but I think this guy has way too much power in everything that he has. Like, this is Xehanort before he knew how to wield a Keyblade. There is no excuse for it. I don't know why he's so powerful. Why does he have a Keyblade? Why is he able to freaking do stuff in time travel that nobody else can do? He's the final boss in this game, and he's pretty much the hardest boss. Aside from, I think the super boss was a little bit more annoying, but like, he was like the hardest boss, I would say, in the game. Minus the super boss, which still wasn't too bad. It's like, why does this guy have so much power? Why does this guy know so much and do so much? And yes, he was told stuff by Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, but like, he's just too conniving and calculated in a way that I don't think he quite should be. Not that he shouldn't be somewhat. I just think he's like almost mastered Xehanort level of calculating, and it just seems like he needed more years of experience in wising himself up, because for all intents and purposes, he's approximately Sora's age. Approximately, give or take a little bit. And Sora would not be able to do all this crazy stuff. Even Riku, who's definitely the smarter boy. Like, he would not be able to do all this conniving stuff, though he is smart and he thinks stuff through. And we've seen multiple times in this game, which I guess is a point I should have pointed out with Riku, though we kind of just was like S tier and went on, is that he was really thinking about things through this game, and that's really awesome to see that he's really calculating this, or like philosophically thinking this stuff through. And like, I just don't think young Xehanort should be doing that. So he's a C tier for me. He makes me mad.
Goes on a long rant. So yeah, he's a C tier.
Not quite D, because I still like, I think his personality is interesting, but like, yeah, I think he makes sense less than anything else in this game, in my opinion.
So one of the things you ranted about was that he shouldn't have a Keyblade.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna be like devil's advocate. Purely by knowing the fact that he has a Keyblade in the future, wouldn't that enable him to be able to use a Keyblade?
Well, when you think back to Riku, when he was a little boy and Aqua ran into him, that's only when he finally had the ability to wield the Keyblade because Terra gave it to him. So it's like, how did Xehanort get the ability to wield the Keyblade?
Maybe it's like one of his future selves gave it to him.
And here would be the more accurate thing, I think, for me to say. Not that he couldn't wield a Keyblade. Let me rephrase that. I think it's more the fact that he was not trained in using the Keyblade. So it'd be like early Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora where he didn't even know that he could fucking open a chest with the key. Because he's a dumbass.
Oh, yeah.
He had to have someone tell him that, oh, you can open chests with this. What? And then I unlocked the ability to open chests.
I forgot about that. Now I'm remembering how ragey you were. Like, why can't I open this chest? It's a key, sorry, you can open it.
I don't think Xehanort would be that fucking dumb. I think that's a Sora thing, but I was just trying to illustrate that he didn't know completely everything with the Keyblade. He wasn't trained with it, all the possibilities with it. I don't think he should have that kind of skill. So let me re-amend that. What I said before, just wasn't trained in it. That's the important thing.
Okay.
I misspoke.
Fair enough.
All right, but where do we want to put him? Now that we're done with that rant.
He's a C for you. He's
somewhere up here for you. Yeah.
So is it a B? Because we don't know where to...
Yeah, if we're on opposite ends, I think we should be a B. We're on opposite ends. So
you can sit next to the rat.
Yeah, even though the rat should be lower. But yes, okay. So here's our tier list, everybody. We are gonna jump to our own individual ones now. All right,
okay,
so we are here with Raine's tier list here. God, you love everybody, don't you?
I love everybody. See, I did it and I thought, you know what, there's so
no
many in
Ds.
S. No, and I regret it, because freaking Yensid should have been a D.
Yep, zoink. Yoink him down there.
I do sort of stand by my opinions, because I love, like, the different Xehanorts as villains, and Ansem's redemption, so, like... I liked sticking up there.
Honestly, as someone who's introducing you to the series and wants you to love these games so much, it makes me very happy that you're loving all the characters so much.
Yeah, I love them.
Even if I don't agree that they all should be there. But I'm not too mad about any of these, to be honest, other than this boy. But like these, so I can respect it. I think they're more A-tiery for me, but I always liked him when I played KH2 back on the PS2. Going through the games, I think I like him a little bit less, seeing some of the terrible things he did a little bit more, but I do, again, like I said, appreciate his redemption. So, I mean, fine, unrespectable for this one, in my opinion, but I know that a lot of people like him, so I can respect it, because he does have an edgy personality that I know people love. I like Joshua still, but I also completely understand someone not liking him. Goofy, that's fine, I agree with that. Nope, go down here. Get out of here. D tiers. Go. D tier on you. I agree. That's fine. I respect both of those. Respectable for both of those. Yeah, I don't have too much problems with your tier list.
Yeah. See,
I think it's pretty good.
With some of the Ansem's Xehanorts, I think it's also somewhat a bit like they've been such good villains in the past, and I saw them again, and I was just like, oh, yes, they're around.
that is fair. And I think that's what the kind of the vibe they want you to have a little bit too, with reintroducing the characters again.
Yeah, which is probably why the troublesome musketeers are also sort of higher up. Because I was like, you know what? I loved seeing them. Even
I hated seeing them before. I hate seeing them again. That's where I'm at. I'm like the opposite end, but same reasoning. All right, let's see mine now. So I was a little more favorable on the A column than you.
But Roxas, is she on an A?
Oh, good. I did put him down here. I was in the right mindset. Good.
Oh, okay, I agree with everyone you've got in
You know,
S.
it's funny because I definitely like self-convinced myself to put an S tier today. I did this a couple days ago for clarity. And yeah, I definitely think Roxas should be in the S. Shion, I'm fine with because she wasn't as integral in this game. As I said before, overall, I think she is an S. I know Master Xehanort, I was on the edge of S and A. I was really on the edge of it, and I ended up just going more towards A. And that's kind of what I said before. It depends on the day which I think of them. But yeah, today is an S, so there we go.
All of these are pretty respectable, apart from Joshua, Maleficent, and maybe young Xehanort.
Okay. I'm very happy with my Ds.
I can respect your opinion.
I will say I was being a little bit more critical when I did this with my S's. I didn't want to just throw anybody and everybody up there.
Looks at my one.
Yeah, go back one here.
I loved all of them. They're so good.
I like I said, I like it. But yeah, in hindsight, Roxas, especially with thinking about it more, you should definitely be up here. Other than that, though, and I can see Master Xanarp, though I'm not mad about him being here. Other than that, I stand by this pretty much.
Okay.
I agree with it. All right, but let's hop on over to Worlds, which should be the quickest one. All right, everybody, we are back with some Worlds here. Let's jump right into it. All right, Country of Musketeers. Raine, where would you put this one?
I was sort of kind of neutral on it. It was fun, but nothing too special. So I've sort of like a B on it.
I would say this was my favorite out of all of them. Well, all the Disney Worlds, I should say. Out of the Disney Worlds, this was my favorite Disney World. And this was a world, as someone who actually went through the game and grinded between episodes and got even more of these worlds than just the storyline of them, this was one that was fun to go and grind in and go and kill enemies and run around. And it didn't get boring because there's a lot of different places and scenery, and it was very nice and refreshing going through it. There's a lot of different areas. Rikus and Soras had variations, especially Soras, where you went to different locales. And I really liked it. I definitely think it's an A tier.
Fair enough. You can put it there if you want. Like, I don't mind.
You seem indifferent, so I'm gonna do it. The City of Bells.
Okay. I enjoyed that place quite a bit. There was a lot of Riku moments, and Sora wasn't that much of a dumbass.
Yeah, and there was a lot of locales there too. A lot of scenery.
Yeah, like you could go in the bell tower, and then you could leave the city, and you could go under the city. It was a lot. And I enjoyed it. It's probably more of an A for me.
I would put it in an A. I think this one's not as good for me as Country of Musketeers because I thought some of the areas were a little bit more bland than the areas in Musketeers. Some stood out more than others in the City of Bells, like especially the city portion. But like the sewers was pretty samey going through it. And that would be why I don't like that one quite as much as Country of Musketeers, but I do like it, and it was fun. Prankster's Paradise.
For me, see, I like how big that world was, because you were in a carnival one moment, then you're underwater the next. Mm-hmm. But just the general look of it.
The theme of it.
Yeah, the theme, it's not my thing. So it's definitely more of a C, B thing.
Yeah, I mean, I even said this in an episode, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm not huge on the theme of it, though I did think the roller coaster and stuff portion of it was really cool. The clown stuff, I can live without the rest of my life. Get clowns out of my life. But Riku's side of things was boring. I never really liked Monstro and KH1. I thought it was really boring. Though this Monstro is better than the KH1 version to me, it's still very bland and boring. I still don't really like it. But I have enough appreciation for Sora's side of things and the diversity of scenery there that I still like the world, despite me not liking the theme as much. But I don't want to neglect some of the negatives about it. And for that, it kind of equals out for me to a B.
That's fair. I'd be happy with putting it there.
Okay. I'm cool with a C too if you really don't like it.
I don't like, carnivals aren't my thing. Neither are clowns. So
yeah.
Just that cheerfulness is just, go away, no.
Okay. Symphony of Sorcery. Where do you put this?
That was definitely cool. I mean, you didn't put the music in the game, but the video, sorry, but the music is... It was
in the videos. I just turned it really far down. You can make it out at certain points. So you could talk about it.
The music's so cool, especially the bit where Riku's going through the ice place, and there's so many ways you can go and different looks, and I love it. So I don't know if it's an S yet. It might be. Unsure, but definitely an A.
Okay, well, I would have put it in an S. I talked about this while you were kind of having technical difficulties in an episode. I was talking to the audience about my opinions, and I talked to you a little bit about it as well before we recorded, but playing through it at the first time, it was amazing. I loved it. I thought it was such a cool spectacle to see. And then when grinding through it, though, and playing through it, it was kind of boring. A lot of the rooms were really empty. I mean, yes, it's something cool to look at in certain areas, but there's other areas that were just kind of more bland. The ice area was one that was a little bit more bland to me. It was cool on the first go through to see something unique and different. But going through it again, it's really boring. And the reality shift that was there of doing the musical number was so long to do that animation, and the reward payoff was just so lackluster that it made me never want to do it. Just because it was just annoying and boring and long, and I should just use a command and get it done quicker. And so that's just what I ended up doing, and so I kind of lost some appreciation for it in that regard. I still think the world looks beautiful, like, don't get me wrong, but it's more of like a B for me because of that. But since you like it, and I think it's a cool spectacle, I'm cool putting it in A though.
Oh yeah, I'm quite happy for it to go in A. I feel there's always a different standpoint for us, because I'm more like, oh, the aesthetics, that's what I care about with this, and then you're like, oh, but the gameplay.
Yeah, and and the grinding I think was the main thing, not so much the game, because I think the gameplay would have been fine for just the once through, but the continual was a bit rough.
Yeah, which is fair.
The grid, where do you put this one?
I love the grid so much.
I love the design aesthetic. Part of me wanted to go through with you and show you every Keyblade of the Tron as well, but I kind of forgot. I really wanted to show you Riku's, but I completely escaped my mind to show you Riku's Keyblade, the Way to the Dawn one, at the start when we first got to Tron's world, and I'm kind of mad that I didn't, but I think you can also imagine what it looks like a little bit. But yeah, I think it's just so cool that they did a design switch like that. The character designs, the whole idea of the world is kind of a cool thing. I think a lot of cool lore bits actually happened there. I think it was one of the more useful Disney worlds for plot reasons. And I also like their integration with the series. And I think this game in general did Disney worlds pretty well. Like, I can say that I didn't hate a single Disney world. There wasn't one that I really dreaded or one that I thought was terrible. I genuinely thought they were either neutral or higher on them.
Yeah.
But where would you put it?
I'd kind of put it in S because I really love it.
I wouldn't quite put it in S because it can be kind of samey with the whole techie look of things. So I would put it in A, but I definitely did enjoy it a lot.
I love it, especially after I watched the movie.
So the world that never was.
Okay, come on, that can't not be an S, right?
Yeah, I agree. Maybe slight bias.
Just happened there.
Because I do love the original worlds in this game, and I think the cityscape, and I even took a moment to look at the vast city that we're seeing and we're traversing through. The castle looks freaking amazing. The fact that it really tied into the dreamscape with the buildings going up and down, moving around, like, it just was perfect for this game specifically. And I'm glad they added it in.
Yeah, I love it. It's so cool there.
Definitely S. All right, Traverse Town.
I really love seeing that again, and they added so much.
They added so much. S tier, I don't care.
Big. I agree. It got so big, and there's so many details. It's amazing.
Yeah, I that was my only gripe that I had with Traverse Town in the first game, is that it was kind of small, and every district kind of felt somewhat similar, but they really expanded with the mailroom, with the fountain area was really cool. The whole little back-end city space where the Moogle is, and I guess there's a mini game there that I never really tried. I was not really interested in it, to be honest, though. But I just thought it was so cool, and the whole design of it, I loved it.
Yeah.
S, obviously. Destiny Islands. So we saw this a little bit. Obviously, Ansem at the end of the game, but also in the beginning with Sora going back in time with Riku and fighting Ursula and stuff. We actually built the raft. We had the raft. We did it.
We used the raft.
We rode it out to sea. Yay! So that was kind of cool. That was also a real cool callback to Kingdom Hearts 1, where you're building this raft, but you never got to ride it or anything. And we actually get to ride it, and I think that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, that was amazing. I loved riding the raft. Even if I was very confused from inside, because you were back on the raft, and I was like, what?
What is happening? Why are we back to KH1? And I'm like, when did we say this was a future game? It's like Birth by Sleep.
And I was like, what do you mean they left when this stuff happened? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you were so confused by that. But yeah, I think it's also cool that I think Riku's portion, when he went back to Destiny Islands and Raine, you're like, I know that place. You're like, I know that place now. Like, you see the background, you just know what it is. So yeah. We love it. We love it so much. And the fact that we got to see these deep questions asked to Riku then and answered there, and then Ansem's thing, and that was kind of a deep thing. It was kind of cool, and it's awesome that it happened there. I think that scene elsewhere would have been less impactful for me personally.
I agree.
But yeah, I like this. S tier for me.
Definitely.
S tier all the way. All right, so there we go. Quick and easy one. Let's go to our individual ones. All right, so we have Raine's tier list. All right, so she's only 1C, which I respect it. Prankster's Paradise. I think the theme is the most questionable out of all of them. I don't think I have a problem with any of these. Musketeers I did like a lot. City of Bells, I respect in a B. I think I personally was between a B and an A on it, just because there's certain more boring areas for me. But the Grid, Symphony of Sorcery, I respect those. And definitely respect your S's. I agree.
Yay!
You did good. I think that's pretty good. I don't think we were too far off on this. We were pretty agreeable with these.
We were pretty agreeable.
And so here's mine. So this is...
That's not bad at all. That's pretty agreeable as well.
That's pretty similar to what we had, isn't it? Here's one we just did.
Yeah.
So I think Symphony was the only thing I had lower. Everything else was the same. Wow, we are on the same page with these. That's freaking awesome. For once, yeah. All right, well, I think enough said there. Good job, us. And let's jump into the next one, Keyblades. All right, so we are here with the Keyblades now. Okay, so starting off here with All for One, the Musketeer Keyblade. Where did you put this one, Raine?
I did enjoy that Keyblade because I kind of like the hat on it, and the colors kind of not too bad. So
yeah.
It's sort of like a lower A maybe, but more towards a B.
I am in the exact same spot. Low A, I would say. I also think the 3 swords on the hilt at the keychain, being the 3 musketeers basically putting their swords together, is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
But no, I think I like the design. Okay, so we got the counterpoint. D tier.
Yeah.
You sound like you're going to go for C. Or you're going to go for C.
I would just feel like I'm not really keen on it, so I can't really put it a B. It'd be lower than that. But I honestly don't mind which lower.
You're going to D. All right, cool. Enough said. We hate it. I don't know. It's just too whimsically and colorful. I'm not into it.
It's too bright. It's not very threatening. I feel like a Keyblade should be more threatening.
The little hat on the hand really ruins it for me. There's a lot that ruins it for me, but that's just one of the many. All right, then we have Dive Wing.
He's a threatening Keyblade. I love it so much.
I love it. It's like a half heart on the blade part. There's like a little me action on it. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. It's so cool. It reminds me a lot of Riku's correlations there.
Yeah.
And Riku's is freaking amazing, so S.
Yeah.
Tron, so this is dual disc. Where'd you put this one?
I really enjoy the dual disc, like unbelievably so it's sort of an S for me. But,
yeah, I wouldn't quite put it in an S personally, but I do really like it.
That's perfectly fine. I understand that S is a agreeable zone.
Right, we have to both agree. So A it is. So here's one that we didn't get. End of Pain. So this is those portals that we saw, those pink portals that we could do.
Right.
That was what you got from doing all the special portals of those. So it's like this like really demonic. I don't know why it looks like this, but it's cool.
It's very cool.
Very demonic. So where'd you put this one?
I enjoy demonic Keyblades.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed this, Raine, when looking at it, but there's actually like almost like a minotaur skull on it, as well as an eye at the tip with like bat-looking wings.
I noticed the eye and the bat wings. It was kind of hard for me to see more detail on it because I'm kind of blind and my laptop screen.
It's a small image, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, from what I can see, I love it, and it's more of a threatening S sort of Keyblade, but I don't know where you stand on them.
I don't hate the demonic thing, but it's not an S for me. I don't hate it, but I don't like love it. I like it. I think it looks cool. I also don't like that there's a butterfly on the keychain.
There's a butterfly. Okay, that kind of makes it cooler.
And not only a butterfly, it has an eye like the tip of the Keyblade, just for you, Raine. The viewers can see it better because I blow it up for them. But it also has like a pinky, purple, magenta-y color, depending what you want to call it, as we've talked about in the past. And it just does not go with the rest of the Keyblade. I'm so confused by the keychain. And No, but it's an A for me.
That's fair enough.
Looking past that, but I just want to point that out because I know it's hard for you to see some of it.
Yeah.
Ferris gear.
I hate it. It's kind of like a B zone, but also I don't really like it that much.
I've talked about this in the past. When it doesn't look really threatening, it tends to make me hate it a little bit. Or maybe not hate, but dislike it. I would think was a better word. So it's not like a D. I appreciate the aesthetic of it for what it is, for being in a carnival-y area, but I would call it a C. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Axel's Keyblade, a little bit disappointing. Put that one in D.
No, you take that back out and we'll talk about this.
I'll let you go first.
I love it because it keeps the design of his chakram, but also adding the fact that he is a very fire person into the blade. So I love it so much. It reflects him really well.
I agree with that. Here's my question to you. Do you like this Keyblade or Bond of Flame, the one we've seen in the past that was Axel's kind of thing? If you hopefully remember that one. I
am remembering it.
Yeah, that one. We've seen it multiple times, so I guess I hope so. Which one do you like better?
I would probably say I kind of enjoy this one a little bit more.
Okay.
Just because of the flame aspect.
I am the other way around where I enjoy the other one more. Don't get me wrong, I love this Keyblade too. I think it's really cool. I don't necessarily like the little swirly stuff that's happening with the fire. I think the spikes looks deadly. I like that. The spiky fire look. I like that, but I'm not completely in love with the fire part. I will say, I think it's biased because I love Axel. I will still call this an S tier, but I do like Bond of Flame more. Also, it's my color, so there's probably bias there. There's probably a lot of bias with this Keyblade, but
that's fair enough.
I do want to say I like the other one better. It still has the spikes on the other one. It's more chakram related for him, which I know he is fire, and like you said, it's cool that it has both aspects of it here. But I just like the design better. But S tier, I'm still cool putting it in S tier. Just wanted to get my thoughts out there with it, though.
Fair enough, but how dare you dump it in a D the way you did?
Guardian Bell. So this was the City of Bell's Keyblade.
I don't mind this one personally. I thought it was quite cool.
Yeah, I was middle of the road with it. I was B tier with it. I think it looks cool. I just don't like the bell on it. That was the only gripe I had with it. Other than that, I respect the design. I think it's cool. It's got gargoyle-y aspect to it.
Yeah, I agree. That's fair enough completely. I don't mind it B.
Okay. Then we have the Keyblade, the Kingdom Key. Or classic. Generic B?
Classic.
B? Generic B, or do you say it higher because it's classic?
See, my opinion's changed on it because the more I see it, the more I love it.
Yeah.
The more we go through these games and we see all these unique blades, I'm like, but the original.
It's quite funny to me because specifically with this tier list, I hit that point. I hit that point where I'm like, this Keyblade is like the symbol of a Keyblade. Like this is the symbol, and I just had more appreciation for it. Where I'm starting to like it more. Like before, I'm like, this is kind of more like a C or B. I think Kingdom Key D looks better, so that one's a B, but this one's a C. And yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of in the same point as you where I'm liking it more. It's kind of hitting different. So where would you put it?
I would kind of put it near an S. It might even be an S.
I'm gonna put it in an A for me.
Fair enough.
Just because I'm still I'm more in the BA range still, but leaning more towards A now.
I've sort of jumped all the way to it's classic and I love it.
Yeah, it went from BC range to BA range for me. So I'm like, right in the middle, it could go either way, but I'm cool leaning more towards the A because I'm kind of getting a little bit more attached to it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh god, let's not talk too much about this one.
No.
But Knockout Punch D, instantly D. Let's talk less.
It makes me feel sick.
So to kind of talk about the next three ones here, obviously we recognize the middle one there, which this, just for clarity, this is what the wiki called it anyways. They called the ones together were Nightmare's End and Mirage Split combined is what it is, with its respective halves being the bluish one that we're talking about now, this one being Nightmare Split, and the one we'll talk about in a little bit here being Nightmare's End, which I suppose, screw it, let's just talk about all of them at the same time.
Okay.
Just because they're all pretty much linked.
Yeah.
these are the separate halves that I was able to find on the wiki before they combined together, which I thought was really cool looking, and I just wanted to include that here. So let's kind of talk about them all together. Raine, what are your thoughts on them?
So I love like the all together look. It's really cool because that was like sort of a double wielding thing they did, wasn't it? In the World's End.
World's End? No, that's
no, the World's End is another
this is
thing.
not Pirates of the Caribbean. It's also not the end of the world that was in KH1. It is also not The World Ends With You, which is the franchise that integrated into this game. It is the world that never was.
You know what I was talking about? That's why I got so confused. I was like, hang on, that's not right. What did I just say that was wrong?
It's so confusing, right? I don't blame you.
We saw it in the World Never Ends. Oh, God.
You're messing it up unintentionally. I was doing it intentionally in the game, and I really messed you up. I really messed you up. I love that. That's funny. But yes, to answer your question, this was a reality shift. It wasn't someone individually dual wielding it. It was familiar of Sora with Riku slashing through these things.
Yeah, so in my brain, it's like categorized that one side is Riku's and one side is Sora's.
Exactly. That is exactly right. Yes.
So when it's together, I really love it. It's my brain sort of swaps the handles, so it feels like the purple handle that's on the blue side is actually for like the gold, if that makes sense. It's all like swapping it, like it's a diagonal swap thing.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So I absolutely love the blue part of the Keyblade, like the individual one that's got the purple handle. It looks gorgeous. And I love it together, but I would have to rank the golden side on its own lower than those two. Purely for the fact that it's got... You know what I hate about it already. Come on.
No, actually, I'm on the exact same page as you.
Okay. Why do you hate it though? Like less, more
now,
like dislike it more than the others.
Let me finish here. Now, the question is where we rank these. That's where I'm unsure that we're the same. In terms of two being higher than the other, I agree. But I want to see where you rank these.
I would kind of rank the together one and the blue and purple Riku one sort of S.
I agree. Where do you put the yellow?
I'd put the yellow in like an A, purely for the fact that it's still cool, but I'm disappointed in its color scheme by itself.
Okay, we are on the same page then. It's made you were sounding like you hated it more than you did, I guess. I thought you were gonna rank it lower, but yeah, no, I'm on the exact same page. I had a really hard time ranking these, by the way. I was like, I don't know where I want to put these. It was like a fluctuation between these two. This one I definitely like acknowledged as my lesser favorite, and I hated that it was kind of integrated into this, but with the clash together made it kind of all together, made something cool, and for that reason I put it in an S. And then this one I thought looked really cool. There's like a stained glass looking thing on the top, which I think in terms of lore bits is like, you know, it's just like their heart. This is their heart platforms that we see when we dive into the heart. That's kind of integral to that, which I think is freaking awesome. Design wise, I don't necessarily like the look of it on a Keyblade, but the lore bits behind it, I freaking love it. I think it's really cool.
No, it is really cool. The only thing that sort of disappoints me about the gold one by itself is that it's, first of all, too bright. But then also, I don't like yellow and blue together, so. Yeah,
you don't. I like the look of it though. Like I definitely still like it. I just think when you compare it to the Mirage one versus the, what was that one called? The Nightmare's End. I think it's just I like the other one better.
Yeah, definitely.
I just gotta put it there. I also want to say the keychain on it. There's a bat wing on. It's like a heart symbol with a bat wing on it for Mirage, and then a angel wing on the other one, which would be Sora's side, presumably. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
But anyway, there's a lot of like lore tiddly bits there that I love about it.
Yeah.
Next we have. I'll give you the name of this Keyblade now. We had a version of it. It wasn't this particular one, but this Keyblade is called No Name, which is also the same name as the next Keyblade, which is No Name, but we now know it's the same person, so it makes more sense. I didn't want to spoil that, obviously, in Birth by Sleep, which is why I didn't give you the name.
Right.
But
I didn't remember that you didn't give me the name.
Yeah, that time Keyblade we had was called No Name in the last game, just for your information.
I'll be honest, you could have told me that, and I would not have remembered that was the name of saying Keyblade.
Well, you probably would have questioned it more if I said it, so you would have remembered it. But the fact that I didn't is why you didn't remember it, which is good.
Okay.
Where'd you put this one?
I mean, I kind of like it. It's got its dark. I've always liked the dark Keyblades, as we know. So that's more of an S. Like,
100%.
I enjoy it
100%.
a lot.
It actually has the little goat horn thing that's happening on the other no name is actually at the top of the Keyblade. So it's almost like his other Keyblade converged into this time Keyblade, as I'll call it.
Yeah. It also has the same color scheme as that other one we just
the Mirage.
Yeah.
Without the purple-y, pinky thing.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
And so no name, this one, I think we can probably just treat this an S.
Yeah, definitely.
If the other one's an S, I feel like this one's an S. We like this one, it's really cool. Got the eye and the Keyblade, all that kind of fun jazz.
It's threatening. Like, I'm sorry, if you're doing a cutscene where like Sora's interacting with Xehanort or like Riku's interacting with him, and they've got this like really fun, carnival-y, colourful Keyblade versus that. I'm sorry, I'd stop rooting for Xehanort because it's not threatening at all.
That's fair. I also think it looks like if the Kingdom Hearts logo was a Keyblade, I feel like all the sharp edges and stuff of this Keyblade makes this one the Keyblade for it. Because the Kingdom Hearts logo is always all pointy on the corners and kind of sharp, and it reminds me of that. I just noticed that now looking at it, but yeah, I think that's cool. All right, anyways, now on to the next one here, which is Ocean's Rage.
I do kind of like that one, just purely for the fact that, I mean...
You grabbed the uvula?
It was pointed out that we grabbed the uvula, yeah. And it's got a whale on it.
Yeah, I just don't think it's intimidating. I don't really like it too much. It's a C tier for me, but I respect the uvula grab.
I'll accept a B, because it's more of an A purely for the fact that I like the whale and the water and the uvula and...
Yeah, I'm not always in tune with these crazy designs. I respect it. I think it's a really cool design. It's a whale spewing out the top and there's a ship on top of it. Grab his uvula. Yeah. Love grabbing the uvula, but like design wise, I just don't really like it, I guess, for aesthetics. Then we have Skull Noise, which it's kind of unfortunate because it also had that purple electricity in it, which unfortunately doesn't pick up in the image, but I thought that was really cool as well. Just want to add that.
I can see that.
I like this one.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I call it like an A tier for me.
Yeah, I'll accept that.
All right, I like it. Then we have Sweet Dreams, which is what you got for... I want to say it was doing that minigame that I never did. I want to say it was something with that. What do you think?
I think that I will never have Sweet Dreams if that is higher than a B.
I'll never have Sweet Dreams if it's higher than a D.
You can put it in D, my friend. I'm not mind.
It's ugly, and I'm glad we never got it. The Ultimate Weapon, which we just got in the last episode. I love it.
The design.
You don't like the colors.
I don't like the colors, which makes it really hard to put in an S.
God, we have ranked this Keyblade with this color scheme so many times, and where you place it always changes. I'm pretty sure in the last game you put it in an S. I will say last game it looked a little bit more blue, so I guess I can respect that. But like, you've gone on a journey with the color scheme of the Ultimate Keyblade since Kingdom Hearts 1, which for all intents and purposes, though the design has changed slightly, it's looked pretty much the same colors.
I'm sorry, my opinion changes and I can't.
So where would you put it, Raine?
Where would you put it?
S. Where would you put it, Raine? Raine, where would you put it? I don't care where. I don't care where you put it. Just tell me where you honestly put it.
I would honestly put it in an A, purely for the fact that I'm not gonna let like the color really hold it back that much from it looking cool physically.
There's like a legitimate sword in this. I know there's like a design on it, but you can physically make out a sword. Obviously, I know it's hard from the image, but you can see the sword, and I think it's so cool. Like you're actually wielding a sword.
It's really cool.
It's
but
so
it's
painful.
Yellow and blue.
There's very little yellow, and it's more goldy if you're into that. I'm not into gold personally, but
just get rid of it.
It's so little of it. It's more like the blue, and I think I like that better. I like it better than the freaking whatever you might call it, the Nightmare's End one.
No, I like Nightmare's End better.
You do? Jesus. Yeah. Wow, okay. All right, next we have this one. It's called Unbound. I can't remember how you get this Keyblade. I honestly can't remember, but Unbound. What do you think of it?
It's kind of cool. It's hard for me to see. Like, really hard for me to see. But...
Well, I don't...
From what I can tell, it looks kind of cool, but I'm sort of indifferent.
This one would be one where I think the design of it's pretty cool, but I don't necessarily like the color scheme of it, which makes it more of a C for me.
Well, you could put it in a C, I don't mind. He'd be more of a B for me anyway.
All right. We love freaking Riku. We love the way to the dawn. S tier, straight up.
Yep.
No, nothing else needs to be said. It looks dope. Just freaking look at it. That's your explanation. All right, but let's jump to our own individual one now. Individual ones now, if I don't slur my words. All right, we are back. We got Raine's tier list here. Let's see how good or bad it is. All right, let's start from the top. Cool, cool, cool. Respectable, cool, 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 cool. Respectable, respectable. Yeah, that's cool. Respectable, respectable. Yep, yep, yep. A little bit lower for me.
Regret on the bees.
Oh!
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh my god.
I regret. Move that down.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, this... Well, first off, D tier, 100%.
Yeah,
you were so
100%.
sure on that, too. Wowza, Raine. All right. let's look at mine over here now. So here's mine. That'll... Well, we
respectable.
Went there.
It's not too bad.
These ones... Yeah, that follows. And those are all on the bottom, which is where they should be, Raine.
I know they should be there, okay?
We actually, for all intents and purposes, we did a pretty good job of staying true to what we went through with both. We were in pretty good agreement, other than whatever this monstrosity is. When it comes to Keyblades, Raine, you were all over the place.
I know I am. I think I looked at it and I was like, I mean, the color scheme's not that bad. So, I mean, it's not the greatest. So I'm sort of just like, eh.
All right, everybody. Well, I think that's going to do it here for this tier list ranking. Hope you guys have enjoyed. And obviously, the next video you guys will see, honestly, will probably be a best of. But the next video after that you will see will be on to the next Kingdom Hearts thing. So, thank you again all so much for watching us. Watching us, I guess. Watching and going through this game with us and this franchise thus far. And very excited to keep going through these games. So anyways, guys, thanks again so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.